What's up, my name is Victor from Unclenched. I don't really make list videos, but in the absence of any new games whatsoever, I thought I would give it a hot crack. So welcome to my list of the top 10 worst type of gamers. If you happen to find yourself on this list, I'm sorry, but not really. At the number 10 spot are laggy gamers. 9 out of 10 times, it's not even their fault, unless they are downloading porn at the same time as they play, and even I can be guilty of that at times. Most of the time, it's due to poor internet connection in the area they live. I understand how these gamers feel. Being an Australian, we literally only just caught up to fast internet speeds. It's not as big of a deal as it used to be, but there was nothing worse than a whole server lagging out because of that one guy that was on dial-up internet or on a Wi-Fi signal that was so weak, it was as if they lived 10 houses down from the actual modem. What was worse is that they never admitted defeat and would just leave the server. They would act like it wasn't their fault. We knew all along it was your fault. We were just too polite to say anything. Trollers are at the 9th spot on this list, and they probably could be down way further. Trollers are those typical gamers that team kill or go out of their way to stand in your way to hope you team kill them and get banned from the server. They are also that same type of annoying gamer that plays their loud, god-awful music in the Call of Duty lobby for all to hear. I would also include spawn killers into this category, those people that just hunt down new gamers in games like DayZ or Rust, for example. I mean, who hurt you as a child that you get your enjoyment off other people's misery? Get a life, please. If you have any examples of being trolled, let us know what happened in the comments below. Social media gamers take up the 8th spot on this list. I'm not talking about streamers or people that talk about video games like myself. I'm talking about those people that will post spoilers without warnings. It used to be a really big problem in comment sections. Oh, this game is great and I love it when blah 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 happens and so on. Now it's a big deal on TikTok or Instagram Reels, and they give you no pre-warning that they are about to pop up. You are scrolling on TikTok, you see a funny fail, a TikTok thought or two, then boom! You see a major story plot. The worst part is I don't think they even consider them posting spoilers as a bad thing. I think most of the time they are just oblivious to that fact. It's just a bunch of people trying to get easy views and begging for followers or subscribers, but seriously, if you like this video, please consider subscribing, thank you. 7 on the list are rage quitters. We are probably all guilty of this, I know I am, especially in 1v1 games, but that doesn't make it any less frustrating when it happens to you. You know, when you are in an intense game of 1v1 and you're clearly winning, and the other player mysteriously drops out, and you never get the satisfaction of beating them. I hate it when that happens. It's also the worst when the game itself doesn't count them leaving as a win for you and a loss for them, or when the game freaks out and takes a few minutes to realise that the other player has left and sort of just lags out. It's something that doesn't happen as much as it used to, and it can be a huge source of entertainment when that rage quit video is posted online. Or when you kill young innocent Billy on Fortnite and hear his prepubescent voice scream and leave the match. Maybe this shouldn't be on the list. Reviewers sit quite comfortably at the number 6 spot. I even get a lot of hate for some of the reviews I post, and that's fair enough because we can be quite over the top at times with our criticisms. What's worse about reviewers is how inconsistent they can be. They will dislike a particular game because of a certain flaw, and then in the next review completely ignore that same flaw. Also, you can tell that some bigger companies that want that game publisher to like them, they do add a few extra points to their reviews as not to be blacklisted. Reviewers will always make a lot of people happy with their score, and at the same time a lot of people mad. You just have to stay consistent, people. Sport game only gamers wouldn't have been on this list, let alone at the 5th spot like 5 or 6 years ago. The reason they sit on there now is because they are the sole reason major companies like EA are allowed to release yearly sport games with 0 upgrades or added content. There was a stage where sport games were getting better each year, but the last few years has been absolutely awful. EA is literally taking the piss with their modern sport games, and sport gamers are just eating it up, and they're still willing to dish out lots of money each year. Especially their secret gambling pack system or whatever that is. I'm not familiar with it myself, but lots of money can be wasted opening packs to hope to get that awesome player for their fake sports team that won't matter when the next year's shitty sport game is released. Wake up, people. Console war gamers at number 4. Console wars have always existed pretty much, but became really big during the PS3 and Xbox 360 era. The PS2 absolutely dominated the Xbox, other than Halo of course and its live feature, so it was only natural for Xbox 360 users to really rub it in PlayStation users' faces when their console was way overpriced and the PlayStation network would go down for weeks at a time. Console wars were annoying back then, but now console war gamers are even worse. Even lately, people have been comparing Starfield to Spider-Man 2. Two completely different games, yet because they are on competing consoles, it has sparked conversation on which one is better. The PlayStation has better exclusives. Xbox has Game Pass. This hardware is better. Blah, blah, blah. Just stop it. The truth is, we need both companies, otherwise nothing will be driving the other company to do any better and improve. Each console has its pros and cons, but nothing is more embarrassing when a console war gamer would rather be embarrassingly wrong than just admit that the other console does this particular thing better. And if anything I said during this part upset you, then you may be a console fanboy yourself. Worse than the console war gamer are PC preachers, which is why they sit at that third spot. PC preachers are the modern day Jehovah's Witnesses. PC gamers somehow consider themselves superior than most because they can play games like co-op and console gamers can't. Now I have a gaming computer, it's due for an upgrade, but I also sit at a desk job during the day. When I get home, I just want to sit back and relax in a comfy recliner, put my legs up and chill, not sit in a fake race car chair and ruin my back posture even more. Not only that, but the PS4 I bought lasted the whole lifetime of the PS4 era and cost 1/3 of what a gaming PC cost. Yes, PCs have more games and better controls for most games, especially since you can plug in a console controller if you wish. They also have mods and whatnot, but they also have a lot more hackers, technical problems, and they cost a lot more money. Again, each to their own, and even I can admit that the PC is the superior gaming device, okay? Get off my back, but not everyone wants that, so keep your preaching to yourselves. Illegal downloaders are at the number 2 spot. I don't think it's as big of an issue as it used to be, but for a while there it did cause a lot of damage to developers, especially when games would leak early. I understand the appeal of playing a game for free, but I would also prefer to pay for a game than see a game get poor numbers and a developer go out of business. Other than a few of those huge companies, we often see companies go under due to poor sales, and most of the time it's not because of illegal downloading, but it is always a small factor that can add up. Pay for your games, people. Support the companies you love. Hackers are at the number 1 spot of this list of worst gamers. I have never even considered hacking before. Are you so desperate for people to think you are good at games that you are willing to cheat? There are 3 types of hackers, all of them bad. There is the type of hacker that does it to climb higher on rankings and pretend that they are the best. There is the type of hacker that will openly be flying around the map and shooting through walls. Their goal isn't pretend to be the best, but to make everyone else's experience the worst. And then there is the hacker that tries to break the game for everyone else. All 3 types are as bad as each other, and as I write this script for this video, I don't even want to come up with a clever punchline or witty jokes because I think hackers are pretty pathetic. Alright, that was my top 10 list, my very first one. If you enjoyed it, let me know and I might make some more lists in the future. Please consider subscribing, it helps the channel out a lot. Once again, thank you very much. Until next time, see ya.